Hey guys, and good morning from Oakland Park, Florida, a city on the move. There's all kinds of good stuff going on in Oakland Park. It's absolutely amazing, and we're very happy to be here today at the Urban Farming Institute talking to you about various types of growing media. Now, we're going to explore this from a different point of view. We're gonna work with this a little bit, and if you have some questions or comments, will you also know that this is going to show up on YouTube, and it's also going to be on Instagram, but right now it's on Facebook. And if you have questions or whatever, just in the comments below, if you get a chance to leave a message, that would be fine with us as well. So I'm going to do this pretty quickly because Jeff says that we're running out of battery. I don't know how that is. Put it on the charger, should charge. Well, All right, so let's start with the basics here. One of the simplest and most important and versatile materials that you can grow plants in, either starting from seed or just putting plants in, is coconut. Now, coconut is really a wonderful, wonderful product. We use coconut widely on the farm. It is our principal growing material. It is just absolutely wonderful. It has a pH of 7, so it's neutral. It has no nasty stuff in it, no bugs, none of that. And you can just amend this all kinds of ways. And we add a little perlite to this, and we have a perfectly wonderful growing system. And as we start thinking about what vegetables we're going to be needing, how we're going to be able to provide for ourselves as this corona continues, we need to be able to provide for ourselves. And why not? This is a simple, inexpensive way to grow, and it starts with coconut. And we have a whole thing on growing with coconut, and we're just going to go over it quickly here today. The next product that we use, which is really an amazing product, now this has been amended a little bit here, but it's called Promix. And this has quite a bit of perlite in it. This is more than you would find in a Promix. But you can see this is pH, already pH stabilized, 5.8 or so. Perfect pH. It's a peat-based growing material from Canada. It lasts a long time. All of our beds here in the community garden are filled with Promix. And there are certainly other less expensive ways to go, but when you start thinking about, gee whiz, is this going to be with me for a time? We have 5 years of experience in dealing with beds out here with Promix in them. So we know for sure that that's going to work out really very well. One of the uses of coconut is, oh, by the way, this is completely sustainable. And we have a whole lecture on the word sustainable, by the way, but this is sustainable. And there are 3 coconut trees for every man, woman, and child on planet Earth, so we're not running out of this anytime soon. John Carter, who is a grower of microgreens, has brought over a tray for us to look at this morning, and it's really very interesting. This is coconut, and those are sunflowers, and you can see that the little white tips there, the sunflowers have begun to germinate. And in 10, 12 days, John is going to have just a big crop of completely delicious, highly nutritious sunflowers. And they're going to have a very nice, sweet, nutty flavor to them. They're going to be a wonderful, wonderful delight. This is something you can easily do at home, or you can buy it from John. And John is actually here now out in the hydroponic garden, and this is just a wonderful, wonderful demonstration of how to do microgreens, and sunflowers are one of the most popular. The other side of this, which we're going to show you right now, is how to soak your seeds. Now, this to me looks like broccoli, and John is just using a good quantity of broccoli here, broccoli seeds. And we have to tell you that if you're going to grow microgreens, just use seeds. Use regular seeds. If they put the word microgreens on the back package of seeds, they're going to charge you another couple of bucks. Not necessary, because here it is, and John's going to get a tray or two out of these broccoli sprouts, and broccoli microgreens. And the key ingredient that we're going to have in these microgreens is sulforaphane. And there are so many nutritional benefits to sulforaphane that if you have the ability to grow it at home, by all means, you really should grow it. And as you can see, we're growing in water here. We're getting these started in water. There is a difference, very clear difference between a sprout and a microgreen. A sprout is grown in water until it germinates, and you change the water several times, and then you can actually eat the sprouts along with the seeds, and it's very, very good for you. Or you can grow microgreens like we're doing here with the sunflowers. But this is how all of these are started. And if you think about it, microgreens are a fabulous product, super, super dense, and really, really good. So moving on, how about water? Is water a growing medium? What do you think? Is it? Well, certainly our aquaponic growers know it as a very successful growing medium. This is fresh water here. What do we know about fresh water just off the bat? Well, we know a little bit about it. We know that if it's from a municipal source, that out of the tap it's going to run very alkaline, 8+ in some cases. We know that in order for this to be productive, we need to remove the chlorine. Chloramines, if at all possible. We know that in aquaponics, fish are going to live here. It's going to be the beginning of the nitrogen cycle, which is all part of our aquaponics class. Sign up for our newsletter if you like, and we'll keep you posted on when these classes are going to come up. But this is an important sort of growing medium. If you're doing deep water culture, and this week we had a number of calls on deep water culture, shallow water culture as well, you're going to be using fresh water. You're going to need to understand the chemistry of fresh water, which is very, very basic, easy to understand, because the purpose that you're going to want to pursue is developing the maximum nitrogen cycle, and we tell you all about that in the class. So what do we have here? Well, this is saltwater. Now, what do we know about saltwater? Is saltwater a growing medium? Yes, indeed it is. Just think about the oceans of the world. Most of the water on planet Earth is salt. And all of the water that is on planet Earth today was here when planet Earth began. It's all here. And this has a pH of somewhere between 7.8 and 8.3. For our purposes here, we like to run a little bit higher on the pH side, and so we're doing that in our laboratory, where we're growing some very, very interesting seaweeds. And if you've been following us along, you know we've been working with red tide as well. So we have another project coming up very soon, and we'll be telling you more about that. But just think about this. This is salt water. Look at the difference between the two. Hard to tell. This one is a little discolored. This one is perfectly clear. Isn't that amazing? And what else do we know? We know that chemically, the nitrogen cycle is going to be an important sort of thing. But what are the nutrients that we carry in this particular beaker here? Whatever happens to be in the water, whatever happens to be in the rain. But let's take a look at this. In our salt water, we know for sure that there are 70 trace minerals in this water. This is the idea. We want to have maximum nutrition in our water, and being able to do that can be completely challenging unless you're using salt water, in which case it's already there. And for growing seaweed, this is a wonderful sort of thing. It's also good for growing fish. So we add mineral to coconut. We add mineral to Promix. Mineral is not necessary here because all we're going to do is germinate the seeds. All of the nutrition is going to be in the product at the time that it is harvested, because it's all contained within the seed. It's just such an important idea. When you're thinking about growing high density, high performing plants, it's important to keep your nutrient density in the soil or in your growing medium at the highest possible concentration. And really the highest possible concentration is in salt water. And this is why we're having a lot of fun growing seaweed. Just think, in order for that to work, it has to have the right pH. Well, out of the box, it has the right pH. We don't have to do anything with it, really. In soil-based, if we're dealing with Promix or coconut, we have to work with that. So we have a lot of things that we do here at the Urban Farming Institute. We want to really involve you with this. If you have comments, by all means, comments as you see fit. When we get over on YouTube, be sure to like the video. And if you want to subscribe, super. You can also go to our website and sign up for the newsletter, and that'll keep you up to speed on what's going on here at UFI and our class schedule. So this is John at the Urban Farming Institute saying goodbye for now. See you next week.